guess I'll go ahead and start. Hello, everyone. I'm Vivian Bird, the librarian 3 from the Exploration and Creativity Department of the Los Angeles Public Library. I'm joined today with my colleague, Michelle Song, the librarian 3 from the Lifelong Learning Department, to help introduce today's LA Mate program. First off, I would like to invite everyone to join our Winter Reading Challenge, which officially started on Monday, December 7th. Whether you're just a few months old or over 100 years old, you can take a part in this challenge. All you need to do is go to lapl.org/winter to sign up. This winter, we're also hosting a Coding for Change challenge. All ages and coding experience are welcome. For more information on how to join the challenge, please visit our neighborhood science page at lapl.org/NEISCI, NEISCI. I hope everyone checks out our online calendar at lapl.org. We have so many amazing programs lined up for the month of December, such as the Locatora podcast series and also Maker Talk sessions, where makers such as the Cardboard Heroes and Lockdown Robotics team will be sharing with us their passion for making. All of these programs are taking place on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Our popular Your Author series is also back on Friday at 4 p.m., where you will have a chance to meet virtually some of the award-winning authors, including Tori Maldonado and Mike Curado, and the participants will get a chance to have a free book as well. So again, please don't forget to check out our event calendar on lapl.org/events. Now the following is the Chinese translation of everything I just said. So after my translation, I will be passed the mic virtually over to Michelle. 大家好，我是图书馆员 Vivian， 欢迎收看洛杉矶市立图书馆的 LA 美节目。在节目开始前，先跟大家分享一下我们图书馆的活动讯息。今年的冬季阅读挑战已经在星期一12月7日开跑咯。有兴趣的朋友们，不管您是0岁还是百年人瑞，我们都欢迎您参加我们的网站上我们的网站注册参加 lapl.org/winter。此外，我们也举办了一些社区科学研究活动，以及以永续生态、爱护地球为主题的创意城市设计挑战。无论男女老幼，有没有城市设计经验的朋友，都可以加入我们。只要上传您的设计作品，就有机会参加限量礼品大抽奖哦。详情请点阅我们的社区科学网站lapl.org/NEISCI NEISCI。这个月的活动里，我们还邀请了几位创客 makers 跟我们畅谈他们的创客生涯。除了分享他们的创作灵感来源之外，还带领观众们利用回收的资源 DIY 自制简易的创意品。希望借此能让大家对创客风潮 Maker Movement 能有更多的认识。如果你想知道洛杉矶市立图书馆还举办了一些什么活动，别忘了上我们的官网 lapl.org 查询活动内容及时间表。接下来的介绍交给 Michelle。Now
on to LA Made. LA Made focuses on the diverse landscape of Los Angeles, highlighting the immense artistic and performance talent that has developed in the course of the city's eclectic history. We would like to thank the National Endowment for the Humanities, our Library Foundation, and our behind-the-scenes staff for helping bring the programs to you virtually. For today's LA Made program, we are very pleased to welcome Christina Chu, professional Chinese GuZheng player. Christina started to play GuZheng when she was 8 years old, and she takes songs from Chinese to Western culture to show the audience the peaceful sounds of Asia. LA 妹系列节目主要是想表达洛杉矶的多元化，感谢国家人文基金会与洛杉矶图书馆基金会的赞助，当然还要感谢我们图书馆的同仁一起努力，才能将这些精彩有趣的节目在网络上呈现。今天的 LA 妹节目，我们很高兴能邀请到专业的古筝演奏家朱玉珍小姐为大家现场演奏。她从8岁开始学习古筝，在很多场合都可以看到她的演出。今天表演的曲目包括中国古典音乐与其他亚洲国家音乐。现在让我们欢迎朱小姐。Now I will hand it off to Christina.
Hi guys, my name is Christina or Zhu Yuzhen, as mentioned earlier, and I have a list of 10 songs that I'm going to be playing. Most of them are Chinese music. Some of them are more popular in China, and one of them at the very end, you may even know this song because it is a song not from China, but actually from Japan. And if you watched anime, in specific Spirited Away, you may know this song. The first song that I have on my list today is called Pi Pa Yu. The way I like to think about this song is just very windy and flowy, and just like the sound of a GuZheng, which can be very flowy, I want you, and I hope that you're able to sense that in this song as well. Thank you. That was my first song. I particularly love this song just because, again, it's one of my favorite songs to play. It's really flowy. Just like this next song, it's called Liu Yang He. So it's about a river, and of course that means that the song has to be really flowy because water. But yeah, this is my second most favorite song to play because there's a lot of different actions that go in it, like water, river. It can be really soft, really flowy, but at the same time, it can rage like a hurricane and things like that. So this is Liu Yang He. So that was Liu Yang He. As you can very tell, the last note of it actually is supposed to sound like a little water drop right at the end. My next song is going to be Shanghai Tang. This is actually a relatively popular song in China since I don't know when. Actually, it's one of the first songs that I've learned when I was beginning to play GuZheng. So that's a fun fact. But yeah, this is Shanghai Tang. Oh, okay, there you go. Sorry, for a second I couldn't see there. That was Shanghai Tang, again, a very popular song in China. I think it's because it came from a Chinese drama or something like that. As far as I remember, that's how that went. So the next song I'm actually going to play is called Nian Chuang Love Song. So the scenery of this song is actually supposed to be on a boat. And of course, like I just mentioned, it's a love song. So you know how love is, or maybe you don't. It kind of soft at times and then super crazy because all the arguments, but then you guys make up and it's all that other fun stuff. So this is Nian Chuang Love Song. What a song! That's all I can say about it. To me, it's honestly one of the hardest songs to play, just because, one, it's relatively long compared to other songs in China. So what I'm doing now is actually I'm retaping my nails. I don't know if you can see them, but so when we play GuZheng, we actually need these. I mean, unless you have really long nails and you're really good at playing the GuZheng without the picks. It's almost like a guitar pick, kind of similar, except they're sort of taped to your nails. And every time I play this song, just because it's so rowdy and it's it ends off with a huge bang, my nails always get shifted out of place. So I'm always having to readjust, usually before or after I play this song. The next song that I have on the list is called wrong song. Beautiful Cloud Chasing Moon. There you go. I can't quite remember how to say that in Chinese. I've only been in Chinese school since childhood, but I kind of forgot a lot of it just because I haven't been practicing too much, but we don't talk about that. Well, this is Beautiful Cloud Chasing Moon. song Beautiful Cloud Chasing Moon is actually about some rainbow of sorts. That's why the end sounds really colorful. I guess that's a visual way to put that. As some of you may have already noticed, I am flipping pages as I'm going through these songs. So, I mean, it's almost like a concert, you know, where I can't memorize an entire hour's worth of songs, but I do definitely try. And, you know, it also kind of helps me just because then I keep track of where I'm at, what song I'm playing, because sometimes I get so invested in these things that I do kind of forget where I'm at. And, you know, it's kind of fun. But the reason why I bring up the songs in the book is just because in China, the way they teach GuZheng is very different than America. So in America, I've had a couple of private teachers, and you know, they kind of just teach me song by song, like whatever I wanted to learn how to play, they'll be like, oh, I can try to transcribe it and I'll try to teach you. Or if it's just a song that they felt I was ready to learn how to play, they would teach it to me. But in China, however, they have actually different levels of learning. So I guess GuZheng's a really big thing there, just because they have like books and you have to pass like tests and sort of performance tests to see whether or not you can move on to the next level and things. So this book that I'm actually using is supposed to be one of the higher level books, just because my teacher who gave this book to me was very well known in China for playing GuZheng. He had sort of a little band, I guess, of Chinese instruments, and this book was one of the higher level ones, and he decided that I was ready for it, even though I never took any sort of tests here in America. But I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it might be an interesting fact that some of you guys might want to know. So this next song that I'm going to play, it's called Hua Hua Hu Die. Some of you guys may know it. It's relatively popular in China as well, and Taiwan. Another thing about it is that a lot of people like to sing it at karaoke. I know my dad does. Every time we're doing karaoke, he will always sing this song, and it always cracks me up a little bit. But yeah, this is Hua Hua Hu Die. Oh, Hu Die, by the way, in English translates to butterfly, in case that's something I do know and I remember from Chinese class. So before I move on to my next song, I do want to mention the reason why my teacher likes transcribing this song and into the way that it was transcribed was because if you think about a butterfly wings and the way they flutter, they kind of like open and close but really gently. And I wish you could see me actually like where my hands are, but basically when I play this song, I am also using my fingers. The technique is kind of just like very gently plucking two strands at the same time. And he always told me, you gotta play it like that, and you gotta make it as gentle as possible or you're gonna kill the butterfly. It's always just been a sort of joke that's always cracked me up and put a smile on my face. Maybe it put a smile on yours too. So this next song I would love to tell you the name of. However, my Chinese is not there. I do not understand what this means at all, but I do know that it sounds really nice. So maybe we'll leave it up to your interpretation on how you want to take this song. I'm so sorry. This is the one thing that is really hard about that song is that I always have to be trying to change pace at the same time. Let me restart the entire thing actually. I want to play you guys a good song. I'm so sorry about that. There you go, so much better. I'm so sorry about that blunder earlier. Sometimes it happens to the best of us. So, right before I go into my last couple of songs, Christmas is coming. And I couldn't do a performance in December without doing a Christmas song. So, or holiday song, or whatever the politically correct term is. I'm not quite sure. But for the sake of getting this speaking done, we're going to say holiday. It's Jingle Bells. Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to you all. So the reason why I play Jingle Bells now, and I would have played at the end, but I do have two more songs in which they require me to change keys. So the one thing that many of you guys may or may not know about music is that oftentimes people will play different songs in different keys. It's what makes every song so different. And usually when you first start off playing GuZheng, you learn in the D key because it's the simplest, it's most simplistic, and it's mostly used. It's used in a lot of Asian songs. So these last two songs, one is called "The Key" by Jay Cho. It's relatively new, so. So Jay Cho is a really popular artist in China right now, and he sings a lot of different songs. You may know him. And this is the key. This is one of the songs that I've actually tried to transcribe myself because I listened to a lot of Jay Cho. Unfortunately, I did not succeed very well. However, I did score really lucky in finding a GuZheng sheet for this. It was kind of amazing. So this is Jay Cho's "The Key." Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Once again, okay, you know, this will make it easier. I'm so sorry, guys, but let me replay that for you. I do need notes for these because I didn't transcribe it myself. But let me just get this in place. Oh, there you go. Okay. That way I don't have to flip any pages for you guys. Sorry, I tried really hard to memorize this song because it was a really good song, but I will replay that for you so you can hear the goodness in its entirety. That was The Key by GuZheng. I hope you guys like that song. I know I did mess it up. I'm so sorry about that. But hopefully you still like it because I think it's a great song and it's very underrated. Now for this final song of my program, unfortunately and sadly to say, I believe many of you may know it. Surprise! So it's actually from a very popular anime. If you know Studio Ghibli, you know Spirited Away. If you know Spirited Away, you know this song. Probably. This song is called Always With You, and it's a song that I've been meaning to transcribe for years. Many, many years. As we mentioned in the beginning, I've been playing for over 10 years, and I've been trying to transcribe this song for about 5 because I've been wanting to learn it, and I knew there was a way to play on GuZheng, and I never figured it out. until very recently. So I'm very happy to share this with you, and this is always with you. And that's always with you, because I hope this program will always stay with you, and I hope to see many of you guys next time. Thank you, and happy holidays.
Yay! Thank you so much, Christina, for your mesmerizing performance. We hope everyone enjoyed the program as much as we do. We do got a couple questions from the audience. The first one is, do you play in a group with other GuZheng performers?
So I actually did for a while. There was a time I've had two teachers. So the first teacher I started off with, she was great, but I only got to learn so much. I didn't, unfortunately, get to learn too much from her, and it's been a while. So I switched to a different teacher in hopes that I could learn more. And with him, he actually created a small group for my age, because there was another girl who was sort of the same level as me, and we played together as a duo, and then she unfortunately quit. Because in America, it's really hard to be trying to pursue GuZheng. And so in the end, he decided to create a group for me. And so we have gone out to a couple of other performances before. Actually, last year, we did a Christmas performance at a church, and it was really fun. But I won't say that I belong to a group just because I normally do solo. But there are times when you might catch me in a group, so.
Okay, are all of the songs purely instrumental, or do some also have lyrics for singing?
Oh, so actually that is a great question. There are some of these songs in my program that did have, or was meant for singing. For example, Shanghai Song, the third song that I was playing, was from a Chinese drama in which it had lyrics. I believe the Hua Hua Gu Die, that one also had lyrics. You can sing it at karaoke. The Key also has lyrics. Jingle Bells, of course. Many of you guys probably know the lyrics to those. Yeah, I believe out of my program, those are the only ones with lyrics. I could be wrong, though.
Okay, and the next question is, compared to Western music, what type of tuning is being used? Example is 440 hertz, and also what type of scales and modes are being used?
That is a very, very complicated question. So in Western music, as I mentioned earlier, things can change from key to key. Someone might go from a D key to a G key, or just things like that. But there are times in GuZheng where that happens at the same time. For GuZheng, it varies really. It's hard to say, just because even though I do play a lot in D key, because that is sort of like the first thing that you learn, you also learn how to tune to different keys. For Chinese New Year, or Lunar New Year, sorry, there are many songs in which you play in the G key, and so you might catch me like tuning while playing a song, or I'll just be playing in the G key and switching over to D key and back and forth. Some songs will be 4/4, some songs will be 3/4. It's kind of it's kind of hard to say.
Okay, and the next question is, what made you decide to learn this instrument, and what do you love the most about it?
Thanks for that question. So actually, it wasn't me who came up with the idea to learn the GuZheng. I had no idea what this was when my dad brought it up to me. He liked this fusion band. I believe it's called Hiroshima. They're an Asian fusion band, and they had a song called One Wish that the GuZheng was in. And my dad was like, "Oh, I love that, and you're gonna learn that song." And I was just like, "Okay." And I was 8 years old at the time, so I was like, I don't know what you mean, but I will try my best. I actually, to this day, have not learned that song. I'm sorry, Dad. But yeah, it's what got me started into it. And I eventually, when I took my first lesson, it wasn't even an actual lesson. We didn't pay for it. It was like a trial lesson, and I looked at the notes that we use, because they're not your typical piano sheet notes. They're actually numbers. And I was so confused, because at 4, I learned how to play piano, and I was like, these are notes? What are these? But my first teacher explained everything to me, and she was just like, yeah, so some of these strings are green, and you gotta watch out for that. And I was like, whoa, that's like so cool. And I really thought about it. I'm just like, this GuZheng, if you think about it, if you hold it like sideways, upwards, it's like a guitar with 21 strings. If you hold it vertically, it's like a harp with 21 strings. So, I mean, it just amazed me so much that such a large thing that was so different from everyone else was really cool. I mean, a lot of people did ask me, why'd you learn this? And I'm just like, I have no idea. But I just really liked it. There was just something that I felt attached to it almost. It was because I'm not very in tune with my Chinese culture, and I feel like Chinese music and this instrument is exactly what gave me to be that, like, part of that Chinese culture.
I think that's all the questions we got. Thank you, Christina. Before you
Awesome.
go, Before you go, just a quick reminder that our next LA Mate program will be on Thursday, December 17th at 4 p.m. with the popular Silver Lake storytelling crew returning to LA Mate just in time to celebrate all your favorite seasonal events. LA Mate programs will be streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. 谢谢朱玉珍小姐的表演，也非常感谢大家今天的收看。我们下个 LA Mate 节目将于12月17日星期四下午4点在 YouTube 和 Facebook 上直播。节目中，我们的特别来宾将与大家分享温馨有趣的年节故事，有兴趣的观众千万不要错过哦。我们下次见。Thank you and see you next time.
Thank you.